Good morning. It's Tamara Hunter, and I am counting down. I am counting down to an event for Chemo Buddies for Life that is taking place on December the 3rd, which is Giving Tuesday this year. It is our second annual event. We are calling it a Give A Thon. Last year, it was a telethon. It is a 24-hour streaming media live event full of entertainment, full of helpful hints, if you will, tricks, and so much more about what we are doing with the Buddies community. Today, I would like to talk about something very important, and that is, are you ready? Are you ready? It's a question that many ask, and I think that it's important to ask today. Many of you know that I am from the Southern California area. And if you're watching the news at all, you're probably hearing about the events taking place here. They're real, guys. In fact, if my eyes are watering, it's because of the high pressure, it's because of the winds and all of the dust and everything. And yes, many of us have allergies, so we have weepy eyes. So if you see that, or if you hear that I have any kind of a stuffy nose going on, it's not a cold. It's called the Santa Ana winds. We call them the double winds. Good morning, Lachelle. It's good to have you. One of our service heroes. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm going to be talking today about the countdown, 52 days. But many of you know my story and why it is that I've been creating Chemo Buddies for Life. It's because I have a bit of a Girl Scout in me. And I'm going to ask, and I always do. Anybody that knows me knows that when things like this happen, you need to ask, are you ready? Are you ready? Things like, was I ready to hear 3 words that no one wants to hear? It's a red flag warning when you hear you have cancer. Red flag in your life. It can be. And for our buddies, it certainly can be. And when you put a red flag warning for an event such as what's happening in the Southern California area and many other areas throughout the western states. In fact, look at this map. The red flag warning below me is today's red flag warning. That's pretty much the whole state of California. And you know what they're doing, guys? If you're one of our buddies, and you know of any of our buddies, or if you know of someone that has cancer, you know of someone that's older and has issues, if you know of a family that may be in this area, check on them, because our electricity now is being cut off in these areas, and it makes sense. I'm not going to say anything about it negative. I'm just letting you guys know that there's a red flag warning and that you need to check on folks. Make sure that they're okay. Glad to be, yes, thank you. I'm glad you're with me too. But, check and see, because this is a really great opportunity for us just to be aware. Do not leave anybody alone. That is our message. And the fact that during October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And are you aware that there are so many of our firefighters, our first responders, that are out there right now? I just heard in the LA area that they're being recalled, meaning that they can't even go home if they go off shift. And if they're not, basically all hands on deck. And that's what Southern California, and I believe most of all of California, is on right now. I don't know for sure. I am not one of their public safety officers. However, I am a citizen in this area that believes in being prepared. And so it's simple. You guys, just be prepared, because if you're prepared, you're not going to be scared. And it's not very difficult. All you need to do is think in terms of some simplicity. Think of a to-go bag, a backpack. Many of us have them. School bags. Many of my kids, as they were growing up, they wanted a new one. What'd you do with the old ones that were still good? Either give them away, or you may even have them somewhere. grab them, put some 72-hour stuff in there. Go to a list. Red Cross has them. Preparedness dot whatever have them. There's a lot of really great lists for 72-hour bags. The last thing you want is, if you are in any of the troubled areas and you wake up in the middle of the night like I did around midnight, and I was watching this, and this is from recent, and I know that last year, as we were getting ready for our first annual telethon, now called the Give A Thon, that we have 52 days and counting. Last year, some of my extended family and friends were affected by the Paradise Fire. That was in November of last year, November the 8th. Many of you remember it. It took away a whole city, a whole town. I remember, I'm from San Diego County. I remember the Witch Fire, which is October of 2007. I remember the Cedar Fire, which is October of 2003. Yes, you see a commonality. October and November are our trouble months. Many people think of California as an earthquake country. We are. However, we're wildfire country also. And if you're ready, you're not fearful. So I want to say thank you to our firefighters that are out there on the front lines, that are not able to go home. They had vacations scheduled, they're cut off. They're not going to be able to do that. But let's do this. Let's take control. Let's be the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts that we are. The Scouts. Let's be the Scouts. Let's be the buddies. My story and why Chemo Buddies for life is because I'm a Girl Scout. Yes, I was for the majority of my growing up years. And when I found out I had to go for chemotherapy, I did go for traditional. The story is that I took half my house. It felt like it. I had a car full of stuff, just not knowing what I would face, but I wanted to be ready. And you know what? I could not have been ready for what happened. And that day, December the 10th, 2014, was a day that changed my destiny. It changed it to help those that are affected by cancer to not be alone. And yes, thank you. I appreciate that very much, because you know what? The bottom line is this: no matter what area of the country, no matter what area of the world, to have a simple 72-hour, we call it a 72-hour to-go bag. Some call it a bug-out kit. Some call it different things, but it's called preparedness. And if we are prepared, we're not fearful. And it's that way in anything. And it's that way with our nonprofit, Chemo Buddies for Life. And yes, I do have a Girl Scout mentality. And so for our nonprofit, it's all about being ready, being prepared, and then having some humor, hope, and heart, checking on each other, being there with each other, holding each other's hand, even if it's through a digital hug. Because we have today's technology and we can reach the world and we can reach each other one buddy at a time. One buddy at a time can make a difference. And if you know of anybody in any of the troubled states, can you do me a favor? And can you do this? Reach out to them. Because all of us are in this thing called life together. And when those red flag warnings happen in our lives, it could be that it's a fire situation. It could be that someone's heard 3 words that they're feeling like that deer in the headlight. It could be a hurricane, a tornado. It could be an earthquake. It could be the loss of a job. It could be anything. However, life happens, guys, and it's how we face it that makes us unique and different. It's how we're there for each other. Yes, I had a lot of those. Yes, exactly. When, we have the world's supermom, America's supermom on with us right now, Lachelle Atkins, one of our service heroes. And, she told her story of she's got 15 kids, guys. And she had her trials and challenges. She's the mother or the first lady of a church. She is someone out there caring for others. Life happens, and it's how we show up for each other. Good morning, Carol Brown, one of our co-producers for our event that's taking place. And we're talking about that. We've got 52 days and counting. And what is it that we're doing with Chemo Buddies for Life? We're out there with each other, holding each other up. We're there to be there if they need us, to help them to be prepared and not fearful. Because if you feel as though you're alone, the scary monsters come out sometimes. But the buddies are kicking those scary monsters of cancer to the curb, and other things too, because the whole idea of community is to be there for each other. And that means be there for each other. So, even in the worst of times, it can be the best of times. An author said once. If you have not yet registered at chemobuddiesforlife.org, I'm going to encourage you to do that. Go out there, do it, put your name in. Oh, we have one of our Chemo Buddies for Life, actually one of my Chemo Buddies for Life. Love you, Helene. And we are creating teamwork. Teamwork from the ambassadors, teamwork from the buddies, teamwork for each other. So let's model that today, and let's keep the people that are having a rough time out there. We've got half of California on, it seems like, on notice. We've got much of it without electricity. You can only imagine what can happen because of that. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and this is only one area of the world. There's always stuff going on because life happens, and it's how we show up to life is how we get through it. Rough times are going to happen, guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything here. However, with the buddies, all things are possible because we pull together. We lock our hands together. We are there celebrating life together. And it doesn't have to always be easy, but it can certainly be worth it. So join us. Join us. Join the buddies. Be a part of us. Be a part of what we're doing on a worldwide basis, because you know what? All things are possible, and we are impacting the world. So do you want to impact the world with us? Be a buddy. Join the buddies. Go to our site and put in your name and go get one of those celebration journals that we have, because it has great quotes. There's even a couple of them from me. Yes, how about that? Because I do believe in the can-do attitude. Yes, I do. So go to our site and sign up today, because all things are possible when you work together. And write down this date. Save the date, because you will be entertained, you will have knowledge, you will be able, and thank you, Helene, I'm going for it, because you know what?
That was easy.
I believe that actually not a lot is necessarily easy. However, when you work together, anything is possible. So, save the date. You're going to be entertained, you're going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to learn about what the buddies are doing, because we are doing a lot. We are changing the way cancer is done, and I believe you want to be a part of it with us. Go there, and while you're there, hey, I'm gonna say it, I have been. While you're at the site, if you're so inspired, go ahead, donate. Donate today, donate often. We're going to be announcing here very soon that we have our site up for the event, and it's going to have a tally on it. We're going to announce what it is that we're going for, our goal, and we're going to tell you where we're at. I know we can blast through this goal because this program is working, and if you help us all. We are going to change the way cancer is done, one buddy at a time. So, do you have a can-do attitude? And if you do, are you going to help us to make sure that the buddies are global? I know you are. I know you will. So go there today. Chemo Buddies for Life.org. Chemo Buddies for Life.org. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Start sharing this out if you would. And again, remember, I'm allergic to a lot of stuff, and our winds are incredibly powerful. They're called the devil winds, the Santa Ana winds. I am in Southern California. So, reporting from Southern California today. Go out there and make it a great day. Remember, no matter what, we can find a reason to laugh. Humor sometimes can be our best medicine. So have you had your daily dose of laughter today? If not, go out and find it. Plus, do something kind for another. Find that service hero inside of you and share it with someone else. Possibly that other person is even yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Check in on others. And let's do this together as a buddies community. One buddy at a time, we are changing the world. See you tomorrow. Bye.